Hi guys. So today we will be discussing about the new patterns on the transitions using GMD. So right now I'm on Material IO. So here are the official documentations about what are the Google Material design motions. So the motion system. Okay, so under the motion, so we have a motion system. So here, Material Design's motion system is comprised of four patterns. So we have the container transform, we have the shared axis, fade through, and fade. So as I said before, this is not restricted to be inherited to your application. So these are just what you call choices for you to make use of. So to extend the capability of material design specifications into um, into its compatible form. So we have here the container transform, okay, and shared axis, fade through, and fade. Okay, so let's dig into each of these patterns. So first we have the container transform. So this container transform, with regards to GMD, we have it on the GMD add-ins. So we call it path animation. So we path animate from the source element going to the target element. I will show you that later on. Okay. So we have also the shared axis. So shared axis is a pattern that is used for transitions between UI elements that have a spatial or navigational relationship. So for example, we have here um, a relationship, the login page going to its what do you call this, to its profile settings, and also we have here a stepper, so because they have relationship within step to step, and also this one, so we have the z index, so we have the x index. As you can see, it slides horizontally, and this one is the vertical um, relationship, and this one should be the z-axis. And then, yeah, examples of this, we have the onboarding flow transition along the x-axis, stepper transitions, and parent-child navigation. So we have it. Okay, and let's take a look at the fade through. So fade through pattern is used for transition between UI elements that do not have a strong relationship. So they are not related with each other. So for example, we have here on the first example, we have the tapping destinations into a bottom navigation bar. So or we call it on the GMD uh, the nav bar. So on the nav bar part, you can create your nav bar on the bottom. So as of the moment, so we don't support it. So you can just have the nav bar instead. Okay, and you have also the refresh icon. So what it does is once you refresh, so it fades through the new content. Okay, and then we have also the account switcher. So if you want to switch an account, so that should be also beneficial. So those are the fade through, and also the fade, the simplest form. So UI elements that enter or exit like a selection dialog. So on the GMD part, so uh, we have it by default and inherited on the widget itself. So for the paging, so you can make use of it also. So you fade it, and then the previous page should fade out. Okay, so we have here in examples: dialog, menu, snack bars, and fav. Okay, okay guys, so let's dive into the code. First thing you need to consider is if you generated the project from the archetype, then let's create the what do you call this, the separate pages. So here maybe I can just discuss. You have created two pages, so we have the products and the users page, and then here I've just added a simple UI binder. So I on the GWT, so you can study how they create pages. So the only thing that you need to consider is to create the module view and presenter, and then right here you need to install directly into the application module, which is the container. So install users module. So the users module is something like this, right? So we are binding it, um, we are binding the presenter right here. So, and also here make sure you have the name token annotation, and then this should go to the name tokens string, and then on the users view, this will be the view of your how you call this, your the UI binder. So here on the UI binder, you have also here material title and the material image. So right now I've just added an image just for the demo. So yeah, just to speed up things. And then here we have also the products. So we have the products module and the presenter, and it's present in the name tokens. The link is hashtag products, right? And then we are binding this also to the slot main. So I will show you the slot main later on. And then we have here the products view. So this I use the UI binder, this one, the products page, and then this products page also contains a simple one. So we have the image and the title, okay? And on the application module, so here we register the what is the the two modules. We have the users module and the products module. So okay, so we are what they call this, the parents of this one should be the application module, and the application presenter. Here we define the slot main. So the slot main, it was a nested slot, and then this was consumed by this one on the application view. So we're telling that we are binding the slot of the slot main to the material panel, which is the content. So the content should looks like this. So we have material container, so we have the content right there, okay? And here we're just defining some links directly to the users page and the products page right there. So we're telling that, oh, okay, so on the users, so we're navigating to this page, and the products, we're navigating also to this um, uh, view or page, okay? That's it. So that's the simple one. I will show you the example. So this is the example. So we have the title and also the image. So right now it's just an image, it's not a data table. You can check the data table tutorials, so if you want to adapt it, but right now it's just an animation example, so we don't need that to be exactly as it is, okay? You can navigate now. So we have products and users. The only thing that happens right here is, for simple application, it doesn't trigger the consistency of navigation. I mean, the animation part. So we need to have a transition between the page by page basis, so we can do that, okay? In order to do that, you can just go directly to the presenter, okay? And then uh, we have two methods right here, useful methods. We have the on reveal and an on hide. On the array side, so they have on showing, on shown, and also the on hidden, okay? So let's just copy these two parts. Okay, let's go back to this. First thing, let's skip the container transform. Let's put that onto the last part of this tutorial, because it should be the material path animator, which considers to be an add-in. So let's go directly to the shared axis. We have 1 2 3 axis right here. GMD, we have that. Let's call material animation class object. Let's transition this once we reveal. So we need to what I call this, to slide it forward in. I mean, we have transition shared axis x forward in, so it means it goes to the left part, and then once it exits, so we need to, oh, we missed something. So we animate this as widget, okay? So it takes a widget parameter. If you're familiar with material animation, we have lots of examples right there. Just check out the GMD demo. Okay, these are specific material animations, but we have lots of animation transitions coming from animate.css. So if you're familiar with animate.css, we have that embedded, okay? Okay, so let's copy this and then put that in the products presenter. So this is telling me that once it reveals, so we need to apply a transition of shared axis forward in and animate this widget. And if it's exiting, then we need this one. So we have the forward out and the animate as widget, okay? So let's go back to the tutorial. So let's check, okay? So you see that it should consider acting like that one, okay? And then we have different we have also uh, the y-axis and also the z-axis. So I'll show you that. So let's just change this to y, okay, and this one to y. Correct. Okay, so you can see that it changes to y, okay? Take note, so this is just adding the CSS parameters, but later on we will be it's on the work in progress, so we are having this material motion GMD motion library later on, but it was on the baking process because we need to figure out how we can uh, customize the CSS parameters, I mean the CSS properties. So we will be conducting a research onto that. But right now we're just providing you a ease of page transitions on the web. Okay, let's go back to the example. So let's try to have the in. I think it was Z in and Z out because we don't have a forward and outward animation right here. Let's copy this and then put it on the products. Okay, so there you go. So you have the users and product. Okay, and then you can also have all the configurations. You have delay, duration, and callbacks. So let's call delay first. So let's duration. I mean, so let's put the duration into this. So if you have an existing application, then you can apply this directly to your applications. Okay. So that's it. So it speeds up a little bit. Okay, and we have also next thing we just need to discuss is the fade through. So fade through is a pattern used to transitions between that do not have any relationships to each other. So you can do um fade through. Okay, so I think it was just we don't have the out into here because it's just revealing it because they don't have any relationship within each other. So I can just, so you see that, so it acts mostly the same as z um the z in and z out, right? So it acts the same. Okay, and we have also the fade. So I think it was fade in and fade out, so we have directly from that. So let's call it fade in and fade out, fade out, and this is on hide. Okay, copy this again. See that? So it fades in and fades out. So I think that's all. That's the what do you call this? That's the fade, shared axis, fade through, and fade. Okay, and then next thing is we need to discuss about how we can consider having the path animation. Yeah, the last one, which was the container transform. Okay, so on the container transform, uh, it's not on the page level. So you can do that on the page level too, but we are considering it to be an element to a page, right? Or an element to an element. So let's just try that. So let's have a material overlay, for example, right? Oh, that's an add-in widget. So let's define xml URL import with material design add-ins client. Okay, and then let's type what's that, overlay? Yeah, material overlay. So we call it overlay, and it will be good if you go directly to the to copy the code. Okay, okay, so we have this is the add-ins overlay, type that. Yeah, it should be like this. So you see that, so it path animates. So let's just consider copying that code. So let's copy this, okay, and then that one. So this is a container transform, so you can transform a fob or a button into a overlay panel. And let's copy the yeah, so you have that, we have the overlay and open overlay. So let's just define it right here. So at UI handler, maybe we need that UI field first. at UI field material overlay, and then let's call it overlay, and the other one material button btn open overlay. Okay, and then right here let's add a UI handler on the btn overlay with open overlay, and it was triggered on the click event. And let's try to call the material path animator. So material path animator is an how you call this, is a new add-in widget, and this was different from the material animation. So animation contains all the necessary animate css, I mean the style names, in order for us to make use of the web animations API on the css part, wherein it just applies styles from each widget. But this one, material path animator, is a complex animator class. So you can just animate from source to how you call this, to target. So it should be different, behave differently. So that's why we separate from add-ins. Okay, from the core widget, and then create it as an add-in. So let's try this one. So we have the source. The source should be the the btn over the button, and the target should be the overlay. Okay, and I think that's it. So yeah, let's recheck the code. So once we open overlay, oh, we can just call directly open overlay right there. So yeah, but the open overlay should act as the same as the animate, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so you will take the source element. I think that should act as the same. Yeah, you see that? So you have the material animator class, so you have path animator right there. So behaves the same. So let's just check the first thing. Let's check. Okay, okay, okay. So let's check this one. So this one and this one should behave the same, if I'm not mistaken. So let's try it out. So you have the products view. Okay, it's inside the products view. You see that? So oh, we don't have the close. So let's define the close to btn close overlay. Overlay that close. Let's just do that. Or you can grab, yeah, maybe I can just show you the manual one. You can grab the um, reverse animate. Let's try that. So reverse animate. So yeah, you see that? So we are reversing the animation from the button to the overlay. Let's try that. You see that? So you have the path animation right there going through, and then we are reversing the effect of this one, considering we have the btn overlay and also the overlay one. So that's the what you call this, that's the goal of having this container transform. So we call it uh, material path animator, but I think it was the CTA, so container, yeah, container transform animation, so in short CTA. So this pattern, so you see that, so we have the card, for example. So instead of using a button, so you can make use of card. So we will be discussing a lot more into this on the add-ins playlist, so don't hesitate to go there if you want to learn more about add-ins, especially this path animator. So yeah, so that's it. So that's the what you call this, that's the use case of container transform. Let's make this more complex. So let's define dual animation, I mean on each widgets. If we transition in, then we need to animate two things. So we have the header and also the content. Okay, so let's do that. So on the GWT side, you can define um, any method. So let's define it here on the interface my view, transition in and also transition out. Okay, and let's copy this and then add it here, And then right here, so what we can just do, so let's go to that implement. We need to implement those. Okay, so let's define it here, and also let's go to the users presenter and let's define that also. Let's implement. Okay, so let's go to the which part do we want to. Let's just exit those. So let's go to the users page. So this one should have a transition in of x-axis, and this one should have a transition in of y-axis. So let's do that. Okay, so the in the users page, so we have transition in. So what you can just do is let's remove the let's call this, I think, yeah, instead of just doing that, let's call uh transition in get view that transition in. Okay, so once we reveal, we transition in, and then once we hide, so we need the transition out. Let's copy this directly, same as this one. So okay, so you're calling that, let's go directly the implementation. So we are on the users view right now, so we call the material animation, same thing as before on the reveal. um the only difference is we are um separating the transitions on each of the widgets. So let's add the UI field in order to access it from the Java code. So we have here the title. Okay, and let's say for example this one should be the image, or yeah, image table should be good. And let's define it here. So we have UI field material title, this should be title, and material image should be the image table. Okay, you see that? So we have here, so we transition this to have a forward transition, that shared axis in, forward in. Okay, and then we have also let's animate the title. And okay, so that's how we do. And the other one, we transition this to be y in the image type, the image table. Okay, so we transition this horizontally and this one vertically, the y-axis. Okay, and then once they exit, so we need an out there, and out there also. Okay, and let's copy this. I think we did, yeah. So we need to do a couple of things here. Let's replace that. Add the UI field declarations. Okay, and here, oh no, there. You need to add UI field title and the UI field image table. That should solve the issue, and let's double check. Okay, so everything is good. So let's refresh the page. So you will see that there are two animations happening right here. So if you go to products, you see that. So you have the products page and the users page. So they behave differently, right? So you have that. So yeah, I think that's it. That's the goal of the um, complex animations on the material design. So I hope you enjoy this simple tutorial. So hope to see you soon.